Okay, I'm so sorry. Hazel's been
That's all right.
using my computer, and it
Uh-huh.
just totally like it started going ee, and it just totally crashed. So I'm so
Nice.
sorry.
That's all right.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Um, Also, when I was reading that anti-racist book,
Uh-huh.
they also had he was talking about how he also got um kind of um backflash, like got like discriminated because of from teachers
Oh
growing
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And that was like just was like a knife to my heart, because I'm like, are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
So
For a kid, right? Exactly. My dad went through that really bad. I didn't. I was fortunate that I had really good teachers growing up.
mhm.
But I do have friends that, were targeted more because I would say, it's all about politics when you go to school. Like it's your
Yeah.
last name and who you know and that kind of stuff. And so my dad was fortunately well known in the community and everything, and he grew up there and was a coach and DJ'd and everything. So we didn't really have to deal too much with teachers as far as having any problems there. Now I do remember we did have a African American man that was doing our African literature course, and he went through a lot. Like I know that they wrote like KKK on like his notebook, and they would purposely do stuff to him, like to his house and stuff like that. Like they burned I can't remember, it was like a miniature cross in his yard, and I mean stuff like that. And I know my cousins growing up, they had like stuff wrote on their locker and stuff like that. But as far as the teaching in Connorsville, I mean, they didn't really like. I did notice a lot that they would not work with the black students one on one more. Like it would that like they'd work one on one with the white student if they didn't understand. But if the black students didn't understand, it was just like I'm just gonna keep on going, and they'll figure it out pretty much. But and I do remember, like I told, I think I said that on my interview thing too, on my post, is that I had a teacher that was like, pretty much she wasn't racist, but she didn't help me, like, and it made me feel like I was dumb, and so like when I was my youngest, when I'm working with him, if he doesn't understand something, I try to explain it to him as hard as possible, as much as possible, because I don't
Mhm.
ever want him to feel that way. That you can't go. You should be able to go to your teacher, no matter what race you are. You should be able to go to your teacher, feel comfortable, ask them questions if you don't totally understand what's going on in the classroom. And with her, I couldn't do that, and it just made me feel like, okay, just sit back here and look like you know what you're doing, and
Right.
and then I ended up getting held back that year. It was my first grade year. I got held back because I was too immature and I asked too many questions. And I was just like, how is a 6 7 year old too immature? Like I don't get that, but I was like, okay. So it ended up, like and me and that teacher are friends online and everything, and it wasn't anything personal or racial or any way whatsoever. She just felt like I wasn't able to move on, but I was like, maybe it's because you weren't a good teacher,
Right.
like,
Like, shocker. It might be
right.
you, not me.
Right, exactly. But I did have some friends. We're doing a podcast actually in Connorsville, and I had some older friends that like are in their 50s, early 60s, and they did go through that to where they were excluded out of the classroom, set aside while they were learning, and then they'd be brought back in and expected to do the work, and they of course fall behind. And then they would put them in a certain class, like they couldn't keep up with that classroom, so they put them like in a special ed type classroom. And um, so I did notice that from them, but I never had any issues actually, fortunately, with my education. um, so but I did see that McMurray is closed.
Speaking of bad education.
You're right. I was like 174 years, and all of a sudden we go there and it's broke now, like now they got no money.
They had to tear down Blackstock because it was
Yeah,
so gross. Like, we
yeah,
could have
yeah.
told you that in the 90s. It
Exactly.
was
Right.
gross.
Oh man, that was like a damn bomb. A bomb went off in that place. It was ridiculous. It was like, man. But yeah,
One thing,
One thing
What
I
you say?
do want to give you credit for. I
Uh,
always say my house smells like corn chips and ass. And I was like, I'm like, my friend Steve Malachi taught me that.
yeah, yep. It smells like corn chips, feet, and ass in here. What's going on?
And that's how
Yeah,
you describe the basement of
yeah,
Michelson.
exactly, exactly. And then Kyle, you remember Kyle? He'd walk around with no shoes and socks on. I'm like, oh man, nobody wants to smell your little funky feet, man. Go on, put them away. Yuck, you know. But yeah, we had some good times though.
I know. Tom was like, are we going to talk about Travis peeing in your closet?
Travis pissed everywhere. I remember we went to the University of Illinois and hung out with these guys. And one of them was like a top player, and he was like super cool. Took us all around, introducing us to girls and stuff. So how does Travis repay? We go back after drinking all night, and Travis pisses all over the guy's place. And you hear like 5 o'clock in the morning, the guy's like, "Hey man, hey, everybody get up! What the hell? Hey, somebody pissed all over my shit!" I was like, "Damn it, Travis!"
Where is Travis now?
He's still in Connorsville. I talk to him every once in a blue moon, but he's doing pretty good. He was working for the sheriff's department for a while.
What?
Now, yeah,
They gave him a gun?
they gave him. Well, I don't know if they gave him a gun, but he was in control of other people, which is scary.
Yeah.
But no, I think now I think he drives like truck for Frito-Lay or something like that now. Does deliveries, but I haven't talked to him in years. I talk to his little sister every once in a while, but yeah, that dude, he's recluse. He stays to himself. I just actually found a picture of him the other day, which was funny. It was like when him and his wife got married, and he looked so soft. I was like, man, dude, I wish if I didn't care about him, I would have posted and I would burn him up. But I was just like, that's my buddy. I don't.
Yeah.
But he looks like he could be like, I don't know, like you'd walk into a strip club and he'd be up there dancing or something. He just looked so, I don't know. He looked so feminine, I guess. I don't know. It was weird. But
He
yeah,
was a good guy, though.
He's a good dude. I mean, I'll never forget the night that I learned how to drive a stick. He got drunk as piss at this party and was like, threw me the keys. Was like, oh, time to learn how to drive a stick. I was like, and fortunately, we were only like 6 blocks away, so I didn't tear the whole transmission out of his car, but it was close. It was close.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, I don't see like Josh, like Ja, remember him? Or like, I talk to Tommy every once in a while.
Yeah.
Derek Pine, I'm friends with him.
Yeah, he just became friends with me on Facebook. I was like, oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah. White bread. We just call him white bread. And but that's about it. Yeah, I don't like Scott Warner and all those guys. I don't see none of them anymore or hear from them.
I'm friends with Kiff.
Oh, Kev, yeah, I didn't see him either. How's he doing?
I think he went to the military. I think he was Air Force.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
can see that. I can see that.
And now he's a gymnastic dad because he's got all girls.
Oh, Lord. Nice. I wonder if Mary knows. You remember Mary? That little weird. I don't know if you're friends with Mary or not. I don't want to say
No,
she's
I'm not.
weird, but okay. And she was kind of strange. She was a little weird. I remember the first week we were there, we had to be there early. You remember, because if you're an athlete, you had to be there like a week early. And we were there, and I think me and Travis like had practice and came home and came into our room, and she was passed out on our floor. I was like, excuse me, Snowflake. I'm gonna need you to get up and get out of here. I'm not getting no rape charges my first weekend. Like she was drunk, like didn't know where she was at. I was like, oh my God, no, get out of here, get out of here. Travis was like, oh no, it's cool, man. Just let her. No, Travis, no. We're athletes, and that's how athletes get charges like brought up against them. I was like, I'm not stupid. Mary, get out of my room.
And the sad thing is that she was laying on your floor.
Yeah. Travis, I'm pissed on that 3 or 4 times already by that point.
Okay, now, were you a teacher?
Yeah.
You were a preschool teacher, right?
Yeah. I taught for 17 years. And then I just recently, about 2 years ago, got out of it. I was just like, it becomes to the point to where, you know, like you're not doing anything for the kids. It's more than I'm fighting administration and I'm fighting parents, you know, because I'm trying to
Yeah.
teach their kid instead of just babysitting. And I was just like, I'm not a babysitter. You know, I'm not going to just sit here in this classroom for 8, 9 hours and not teach these kids anything. So I was teaching them, and it became a problem. You know, like my administrator was my supervisor was mad at me. The whole organization was like, you know, like you're teaching them way too much, and then when they get to school, they're going to be bored. And I was just like, so I just like, you know what, I got to get out of this. If it's not teaching, then I don't want to do it. You know, and
Right.
if there's no repercussions for behavior problems, you know, I mean, like you couldn't do anything in your classroom. If I did something, it was my word against the kid's word, and you know they're going to go with the kid. So it was like it became an issue. My son was getting bullied, and the director was doing nothing about that. And then she lied straight to my face and told me, "Oh yeah, you know we're making sure if that kid puts his hands on your son again, he's out of here." And it happened again, and that was it. You know me, I don't put up with too much shit. So I was like, I went right to her face. I said, "Look, you lied right to my face." I was like, "You told me that you're going to take care of it. The situation's not taken care of." The parents, I went to the parents because I was like, "Look, you know, if you're not going to say anything to them, I'm going to." So I went right to them. I said, "Listen," and they was like, "Oh, hey," I had their older daughter in my class. They're like, "Hey, how you doing, Steve?" I'm doing. I'd be a lot better if your son would keep his hands to himself. And they were like, "Oh, you know, like what? We didn't know anything about this." And I was like, "You didn't know you knew something about it. My boss said she talked to you." No, no, she didn't say anything to us about it. So that was the last straw. I was just like, you know what? I was like, you know what? Your son has been bullying my son for the last month and a half. My son comes home with goose eggs on his head, scratches all down his back, and my son's bigger than the kid. You know, like, and so I'm telling my son, don't do anything to him. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him.
Yeah.
Then it got to the point I was like, man, break that boy's nose. Break him off. Let him know. You know what I mean? Pop him one good time in the mouth, and I guarantee you, he won't put his hands on you again. And of course, my son's too good. You know, no, I don't want to, Dad. I don't want to hurt nobody. And I'm like, just get some meanness to you. But I'd much rather him be, you know, the caring and loving kid, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what my oldest says too. He's so caring, and he wants everybody else to be happy around him, and so I'm fine with that. But I told him, I said, there's going to be a time in your life where you're going to experience pain, and then
Yeah.
you're going to know, you know, then you're going to know aggression. You're going to know, you know, okay, I got to take this pain out some way. So how do I do that? You know, and so it's all, you know, you don't get a book when you become a parent. You don't get,
Oh
you know,
God.
any guidelines. And so we're just
Oh.
winging it, you know, like, oh, Lord help us.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, because Ted was having problems with that too.
Oh yeah.
It was two kids. They were twins, and they
Oh
were
really?
picking on him in fourth grade. And I was like, "Oh hell no!" And I'm just like, and so when I went to his teacher conferences, they said, "Is something going on at home? He seems distracted in class." I'm like, "Oh no, we're not doing this."
Yeah, so you want to blame it on me? That's fair. They always try to do that. I always try to turn it back around on the parent, like
Yeah.
I'm doing something. Like if something's going on at home, first of all, what are you going to do to help me at home? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
There's something going on at home, so my kid is being bullied.
Yeah, yeah,
That sounds
yeah,
about right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He
If he
don't have
was
a good
bullying
lifestyle.
someone, it would make sense.
Right, right. Yeah, he don't have a good lifestyle at home, so he goes to get beat up at school.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah,
silly.
that was always fun, and I don't know how often I said, well, Jesus, no one told us about this crap, you know.
Right, right, right. Oh my God, my son had his first girlfriend, and she went to this party and sit on some boy's lap and kissed him, was drinking, you know, and kissed this boy, and just happened to be the kid that like he can't stand. That like this one kid that like tried to fight him in football season, and Jaden was like, "Okay, come on, let's go." And the kid was like, "Oh no, I ain't trying to fight you." And Jaden was like, "No, you want to run your mouth, you know, and everything. Come on, let's go." So of all the people, she goes and sits on that kid's lap and kisses him at a party. So my son's like, "Yep, you're out," you know, and she was like, "Oh." So she called my ex-wife and was like, "I just don't know what to do. How can I talk to Jade?" And she's like, "You can't. You know, like you can't. Bye. You're
Don't
dismissed."
burn that bridge.
Yeah, you're dismissed. You know, like you had the best thing going for you. This kid didn't. He wasn't trying to have sex with her. You know, like he was just like he was content. James one of those kids. He's content just being around somebody. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and that's my girlfriend, and I'm here with her. You know, like it was that puppy love stage, and they were together for like almost a year and a half, and
Wow.
So she would like after the fact, she messed up. We'd go to the games and stuff, and she'd be there and she'd put her head down. She would like look over at me and then put her head down real quick, and I'm like, I'm not playing these games. I don't see you anymore. Like I'm not.
Oh,
I would have. I'm not. That's not my job to speak to you. Like I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna get involved. You do what you did. It's so say la vie. So my son, I was like, hey, and he had a breakout game of his life. He had like 26 points, 15 rebounds, and was like a monster. He was a monster on the floor that night. And I was just like, look, man, maybe you should get another girlfriend and get broke up with, because hey, we could put up some stats.
okay, so
So,
now what are you doing now? I see a lot of kids running around your backyard and you're yelling at them. What's going on?
I'm just doing training. So I do speed, strength, and agility training. So I got I got 6 kids. I had 7 up until yesterday, and a parent felt some type of way about the way that I came at her. So she was like, we're not doing training anymore. I was like, okay, like this is a side gig for me. This is something until I get back to my regular job, but I've always been doing it. I've always been working with kids and training and mentoring and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, I just decided, since right now I'm out and not be able to go back to my job until who knows when. So I was like, well, I need to do something to bring some money in. So I've been
Yeah,
doing this, and it works out. Like I'm flexible, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do as far as going back to a job. I don't think I can go back to my old eight
yeah.
to five, sitting there in front of a computer screen all day. That's not for me. So I'll probably drive like for a company or something, like like you deliver groceries or something like that, and then do my music and do and continue just like try to publish my books.
Okay, now
So
I want to talk about your books.
oh yeah, yeah.
So when is this coming out?
It'll be finished probably, I would say, the end of July. It should
Very
be
cool.
wrapped up. But it's called Axel the Adventurous Oxidal, and
Yeah.
it's about just a Mexican walking fish, and um, too many of them. They don't think that they can go on land because they're afraid of being eaten, becoming prey. So they don't go on land, but they can live on land. So it's just the story about how he's brave enough to actually walk out of the ocean and walk onto the land and accomplish his goals and take on his fears. So
That
I
is
try
so
to write.
awesome. I'm so proud of
Yeah.
you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I got like 20 of them that I've got written. So now I just got to work on getting them published. So
Very cool.
yeah, so I do that, and then I wrote a few. I got probably about 30 songs that I've written that I'm working on now in the studio and stuff with some of my buddies here. I was doing a podcast called Lemon Wire.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw that.
yeah, so Lemon Wire, all I do is I help promote like any of the local artists from many different genres, and help promote them and try to get them more radio play and stuff like that, and just get their name out there. So that's what I'm doing now, trying to work on my music and my books, and just trying to do something more productive and constructive. Like, because I'm tired of just giving somebody my money, working for somebody else and giving them my check every day on time. I can't hear you. Nope, I still can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? I lost my friend Aaron again. Hello? Yo, 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 yo. Hello?
Okay. Yeah, that is the weirdest thing. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I all of a sudden you had no volume and then you just went away. I am not. I'm so well. My husband is not working right now, so I'm like, you need to update all of my shit so that I can do this. Nightmare. It's a total nightmare.
All
I
right,
am so
all right.
sorry, Steve.
Oh, you're fine. You're good. You're good. We're still
And now I'm
recording,
gonna
aren't
have
we?
to take like an hour to edit all of me. Like, oh, I'm leaving and I'm coming back.
All
Yay!
right. The remix.
I know. And it's like
Yeah,
we're
catch
talking
that.
about serious stuff. Sure, Travis peeing on the floor doesn't get kicked out, but
Right. Exactly. Exactly. That's the way it works. Nice.
okay. Now, was that Kai and his jammies?
Yeah, that's Kai Kai. You say hi, buddy.
Happy
Say
birthday!
happy birthday. Say thanks.
Now, does
He's
he
still
start
talking.
kindergarten?
Yeah, he'll actually they don't do kindergarten at the school he's gonna go to, so he has to go to
Oh,
like this learning center. Yeah,
oh, okay.
so we'll see. But yeah, he was just like we were excited because the kindergarten, I mean the school he's gonna go to is like literally a block away from here. So I was like, that'd be perfect, I could take him to school and and pick him up and everything. And they're like, no, he can't go there for kindergarten. So I was like, oh great. So it's only about like 5 minutes away where he has to go at, and it's crazy because my grandma used to teach there. So back a
Oh,
long
wow.
time ago. So it's crazy. The place he's gonna go is where my grandma used to teach at. So that's pretty cool. But
All right. Well, I'm going to like try to piece together this whole crazy interview,
all right.
and like
Sounds
I'll
good.
post it. I thank you so much, and I'm so sorry all of this like crap happened
Oh,
today.
no problem. No problem. That was good talking to you and catching up
I
with you.
know it's so good to see you, like
Yeah.
up close and personal.
Right, exactly. We'll have
Okay.
to try to get a Mac reunion together or something.
Oh my God. Well, that when Tommy came up here, he was like, "Oh, we got to get everybody together," and I was
Oh
like,
yeah, definitely.
"That would be so
Definitely.
much fun." I
I
don't know
could
if my
probably
husband can take it though. All of these guys
yeah,
I hung out with.
yeah. He'd probably have a good time. I'm sure we would
Oh
have a good
yeah,
time. I
he
could
loved
probably get
Tommy.
Travis. Yeah, I could probably get Travis
Travis.
up there, and we can probably get a hold of Derek and see what he's up to. But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
I I definitely would be short again. That was so funny because when Tommy came in, Mike's like, "Damn, he's tall." I was like,
Oh
"Oh
yeah, yeah, and he was our guard. Yeah, Tommy was a little guy.
yeah."
Yeah.
All right,
All
you
right.
take care of yourself. I love you
You
and I miss
too.
you.
I love
And
you too.
I will talk to you soon. And I definitely, when your book comes out, let me know. And
Oh,
I'll promote
definitely.
it on the Cheeky Mom. Maybe I'll buy a whole bunch and give away some for my
Okay.
teacher.
That
Sound good?
sounds awesome. I appreciate
All
it.
right.
Thanks, Aaron.
All
All right.
right.
Talk to
Love
you
you.
later.
Take
Love you
care.
too. See you
Okay.
later. Bye bye.
Bye.